Hey guys, alright, it's Brett from Iron Body Martial Arts. How's it going? I start with my usual slogan. In case you don't know, I run a channel here on YouTube that focuses mainly on old style traditional martial arts and conditioning training from various aspects of Shaolin Kung Fu and other traditional martial arts, bare knuckle training, um, endurance and toughness training for traditional martial arts. I've been doing a segment on my channel called IBMA in MMA, and that's because I joined one of my local MMA schools, which I've been sort of publicizing a bit on my channel. And the idea is to take the traditional skills and the traditional trainings and the conditionings into that arena and see how they fare. What are the good things? What are the bad things? So yeah, and keep you guys updated on the training, which is good. I've just finished lunch. I've just had lunch, and I've just finished my training for today. So I was going to go through my training that I did today for the guys that follow the channel, and I was also going to go through the last sort of week's training and tell you guys about it compared to the first video. So after this one, if you want to go and see the first video and bore yourself to death with that one, go by all means go and do that, and you can check that out, which was good. So what have I done since my last video? I did an MMA fundamentals class. And I also did a couple of boxing classes and which is more martial artsy, but I did a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu class with the gi on the floor. We'll also talk about that. But yeah, so far it's been really good. The MMA fundamentals class, we focused on movement, and again, that's something that from traditional arts you shouldn't be too. You shouldn't be too unaware of. We were just keeping guard, and then like moving left, moving right, moving forward, moving back. That's a good thing. I think it's something that should be practiced more in normal arts, in traditional arts, and I'm sure it is. Just simple things like moving in guard, and it was fine, and different forms of movement, that was fine. Some striking and stuff. Yeah. So all in all. Did the MMA fundamentals class, albeit it was the first class, and no surprises there really. The BJJ no gi class. Well, I come from a jiu-jitsu background, a traditional Japanese jiu-jitsu background, so the whole BJJ thing isn't too alien to me. Although I've been developing my understanding of guard from the gi BJJ. We were developing our understanding of guard and passing guard. From like the inside guard, like pulling, like standing up, pinning the solar plexus, standing up, and then like pulling the leg off and entering on the left or entering on the right, depending on which one you do, which is good. It's good to learn those like ground fighting skills. That's a specialism in its own. How do the traditional arts help with that? Well, stance and base and stability helps a lot with the MMA fundamentals, and even the BJJ stuff, because whenever someone's trying to throw you down, or you have to get up off your knees and someone's hanging off you, or they're trying to pull you down, or they're trying to trip you up, having that wide stable base, I've found already from the traditional stance training, having that wide stable base, being able to get up from your knees into a wide stable base with good bone structure is helping a lot. It's helping a great deal for the training. Make it difficult for people to throw you down, and also even from the MMA fundamentals lesson, having the good posture, the good sort of kung fu posture, which is like half a wrestling and half a fighting posture, nice and stable, makes for good strikes and good stuff like that, which is also good. So one of my friends came around today, and I took him through a set of conditioning. So I'll just tell you guys about that. I don't know if you look at my videos, if you guys have seen my backyard setup. I'll try and show you a picture of it here. It's pretty cheap, if you can see it on the phone. Maybe I can show it to you guys here. Zoom it in. I don't know if you guys will see it, but there's my backyard setup at the moment. You guys can see. That's literally just outside here what I'm looking at. I've got the makiwara on the tree. I've got a little makiwara on the tree there. I've got my boxing bag there. I've got a little bamboo limb that I use for grabbing and twisting. Actually, I can probably show it to you guys here through the window. So let's have a look. I mean, I've gone through this before, so you can check out my video, but there we go. I've got my makiwara on the tree. I need to refix that. Just a boxing bag. I've got a low kick shield on the left there that's stuck to the tree, which is good for low shin kicks. And now I've put my speed ball in here for accuracy. Great, you've always got to have something to train your accuracy. And there's that little thing sticking out there is like a bamboo limb. Yeah, it's a little bamboo limb for twisting, for practicing all the twisting skills. So I took one of my friends through a conditioning routine today for today's training. So I'll just explain that to you guys now quickly. We started off with some skipping. Now I've been doing barefoot skipping. I'll show you guys here. I've been doing barefoot skipping on this cobble right here. On the cobblestones outside, and I found that the purpose I've done that is obviously conditioning the bottoms of the feet and also conditioning the bottom of your feet, and also conditioning like the spring power in your foot. You know, if you do it barefoot, you really get the nice idea. And I'm doing it barefoot outside because I'm trying to build up the resilience in my toes, the resilience in the balls of my feet, and the strength of my feet, so that obviously when I'm kicking, it's such a simple thing, but when you're kicking, you're getting that depth, you're getting that strength there. You're not going to injure a toe, you're not going to break a toe. You know, if you're doing toe point kicks or heel of foot, ball of foot kicks, they're going to be strong kicks. So me and my friend, we started with skipping on there. He wore his shoes, but I didn't, because I've been doing barefoot skipping. Really good training method on the floor outside. Obviously, you've got to build up to it. You've got to be careful. But started with that, get the body warm. I didn't go through lots of qigong and stuff with him because his understanding at the moment is not in a place where it's worth him training those things. So we just got the blood flowing, and then I might as well demonstrate. I might as well show you on our actual station here. Yeah, so there's the station. So then I got him kicking the bag. We did kicking of the bag with the tops of the feet, and then the lower and upper shin. So that was good. So really like easy way to get yourself into it. Kicking the bag with the tops of the feet, getting that distancing, getting that slap on the top of the foot. And then all the kicks were low. The bags, it's meant to be a heavy bag. It's not that heavy, but at the bottom it's starting to get a bit dense now, but nothing serious. But anyway, great for beginner level conditioning, kicking that, but everything's barefoot, everything's without shin pads. And I got him doing the lower shin and the upper shin, kicking on there after the skipping, just to get everything going. And then also some bare fist striking on the bag, which is fine. It's easy, but even then, my friend was finding it difficult, because it's difficult when you first try bare fist striking. But yeah, you got to start somewhere. So he's striking on there. Then I got him to do a drill where he stayed low on the bag. If I can put you guys here. So I got him to do a drill where he stayed low on the bag, and he held one side of the bag, and he was just smacking it, striking it like this, and that was to get his like alignment good, but it's the heavy area on the bag, so it's way lower than you'd usually strike. But I just wanted him to start that conditioning process of the bare knuckles and the bare fist hitting really low on the densest part of the bag that you'd usually kick, just to start that conditioning of the knuckles and that alignment in the fist as you're striking with that. So that was really good. And just after that, I got him, as silly as it sounds, I got him to do slapping on the bag. Now this is something that's really like quite kung fu-y, but it just starts to develop that dead hand ging feeling, which is good. It's that dead hand. So I got him to do slaps on the bag this way and that way, and just concentric slaps on the bag. And you've seen me demonstrate them before. I've got a video where I go through them. And yeah, that's just starting to build up the conditioning in the hand. So I got him to do that. I then also got him to strike with the forearm bones on the inside and the outside of the bag, yeah, at a higher height. So it wasn't quite as difficult on him. So where is it for you guys? So yeah, about there on the bag, yeah, about there. Now you guys might think, oh well, you know, what's that going to do? What the hell is that for? So I'll move this around. This is going to be a really jiggly video. So you guys might think, oh well, what's that for? Why would you strike like this? Or why would you? It might be a bit reminiscent of the karate blocks, but like I was saying to him, it isn't. It's as if someone's coming at you with their guard or with strikes, and you're literally just striking them in the face or the throat or whatever with a upwards like hit like this, like an upwards hit with the forearm bone. Yeah, so it can be someone coming in at you, running and you come to grab you. It can be someone taller and bigger than you, and you're just striking up at them, just like that with this kind of, it's almost like a hammer fist, but it's the forearm bone, so that's what that's practicing. It's very reminiscent of like a karate block, but it's actually an attack. It's actually an attack for the top of a person, their head, their jaw, their neck. Yeah, so that's really what it is. So I got him doing that. So he was liking that. That was good. What else did we do on the station? Oh yeah, well I can sit back down for this. Once oh actually, do you know what? I'll leave this here, because at least I can refer to my station over here. So once we'd finished doing those things. This is like the jiggliest video I've done. Once we finished doing those things, we got the old beater out, and my poor friend's face went a bit, it dropped a little when he saw this thing. But I've showed you guys this thing before. It's just a bundle of like tatami or bamboo. This is just bamboo mats rolled together. And yeah, of course, with this we do the striking on the shin. We do the striking on the base of the foot. Yeah, we're doing today to get that stinging out. We do it on the shin here. You can see the shin bone. We do it on the shin here, shin, and the top of the shin here, and also the knee. We'll be striking that with this, yeah, boom, boom, boom. So initially you have to start really gently, and my friend was starting gently and striking in the shin, striking everywhere. And me usually what I do now is I'll be doing kicks, and I'll be striking at the same time, bah. So I'll be kicking and I'll be striking the different levels of the shin. So the upper shin, lower shin, and foot, yeah? And I'll just be doing that, yeah, dum, 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 building up that shin and that power. Then moved on to striking the forearms, the blade of the forearms, and also the fists, yeah, and we moved on to doing that. So that was a good little conditioning routine that we were doing today. It went on for a little bit longer than usual because yeah, I was having to like instruct him on how to do it. But yeah, that was pretty good. We finished up with all the sand training into the bucket. I've got videos on that. You guys can have a look at that. Training the finger strikes and the gripping and the twisting. And yeah, again, he found it quite surprisingly difficult. Even opening your hands in the sand is difficult, you know. But again, it's training the concentric motions of the hands. And yeah, all in all, it was good. It was a good. All in all, it was a good training day. Really good training day. I enjoyed it. Just taking someone through a bit of the conditioning things. Oh, and we finished with the gripping and the twisting on the bamboo limb that sticks out from the tree. Practicing the gripping and the twisting and everything like that. Just getting that gripping, twisting good. So yeah, no, it was good training. So that's something I think would be valuable for people to try. Certainly try the barefoot skipping on the stone. It's always good to try that. Builds up your feet. It's more difficult than it looks initially, but yeah, it's definitely better for the, developing the strength of your foot. If your foot, I felt I wasn't happy with the strength of my feet, so I thought I'd want to develop it a little bit more. So yeah, guys, that was today's training. Like I said before, I've only just joined the MMA school at at my local MMA school. If you go on Iron Body Martial Arts Facebook page, I shared a link from their site where you can probably see me hiding in the background on the MMA fundamentals class, just doing some movement. They're just focusing on movement at the moment, getting people to move, which is good. Because I did notice something that's important, but I did notice that for beginner people, sometimes the understanding of distance is a bit difficult. Like they're all right with pads, but when you have to hit people, they get the distancing a bit confused and wrong, and it's hard to bridge the gap on distancing. So yeah, that's interesting. Injuries. Let's talk injuries. So I should have remembered this. From my jiu-jitsu days, my traditional Japanese jiu-jitsu, because we were forever getting like twinged wrists or a hyperextended elbow and stuff like that. So I managed to twinge my left knee on the inside here during gi jiu-jitsu training, because I'm doing at least 4 classes a week, or if not more. So I'm doing about 4 hours of the MMA training a week, whether that's boxing, Muay Thai, or Jiu-Jitsu, or MMA, or the MMA classes. Like yesterday I did 2. The last week before I did 2, and then 2, and then 1. So I did 5. So I think I did 5, yeah. So I'm trying to get at least 4 or 5 classes in a week with work, and I've been doing, it's been going well so far. But yesterday I picked up an injury because I did 2 classes yesterday. I did gi BJJ in the morning, and then I did boxing in the afternoon. I was going to do another class of BJJ, but I did boxing because I ganged my knee. And this is what we're talking about, injury. I should have realized. I forgot with jiu-jitsu how many injuries you pick up. So I said how we talk about how the traditional skills help you with every aspect of like MMA. But yeah, all the conditioning I've done and all the stance work I've done, I was like on my back in like guard or whatever in jiu-jitsu. BJJ is like the king of injuries and wrestling, and I like hooked my leg around someone else's leg, and then I pulled. So like I pulled out, and if you guys see my knee here, it caused like a pain here in my knee, like a hyperextension or whatever, like a pulling pain, and I was like, ugh. So yeah, I've already only 8 less, only like what is it, 6 or 7 or 8 lessons in. I've already picked up a knee injury. So I think that was only my 3rd jiu-jitsu lesson, 2nd or 3rd lesson, and I picked up a knee injury, which is a pain in the ass. But it hasn't stopped me training. I did today's training, but it's definitely a knee stabilizer. So, but that's cool, because that's another part of, hopefully that's another part of our that's another part of me sharing this training process with you guys, is obviously when you do new martial arts and when you do new skills, you're going to be exposed to new kinds of movement and new kinds of injury that you didn't know about before. So yeah, my lack of understanding about how much pressure I can pull and push on my legs sideways, because I don't do BJJ, caused me to pull a bit too hard on my leg and get a little bit of a knee injury on the inner stabilizer muscle or tendon or whatever it is on my leg, which is fine. I can walk, I can run, but it does feel a little bit weaker. And then, if I try and move with the stabilizing, it hurts, but it's all right. I've been icing it. Treatment of any injury or tendon thing, just rest it, ice it, elevate it. And I've been putting a lot of Dicta-Jo on, or heat ointment. I use Plum Dragon Herbs Dicta-Jo. It's really good. These guys, I wouldn't say, yeah, they send me some stuff from time to time to have a look at. I've had a long-standing relationship with Plum Dragon Herbs, so yeah, they've got some good Dicta Joes and stuff, good quality, good stuff. Plum Dragon Herbs Dicta Joe, or you can use deep heat or whatever you want, but just keep any injuries or tendon injuries. They've actually got specific Dicta Joes for treating tendons and stuff like that, which is good as well. Different formulas, so you can look into those. But yeah, anyway, guys, yeah. So today, just as a quick update for you guys, it's a bit all over the place, but yeah, I had good training today. Like I said, been putting in good training time. For at least 4 hours at the MMA school, and then obviously my conditioning time here. Yesterday I did 2 lessons, as I said, BJJ and boxing, and yeah, today I did a conditioning routine with my friend. So yeah, no, it's all good. It's all good. It's so nice to be back. One of the things I think one of the benefits, one of the main benefits of just being the chance to train with people again. Because I was saying the other day, like, at the moment, my only interaction with people in my job or whatever is like negative when I have to deal with them, and then it's always at like maximum effort, because it's someone like really resisting, really trying to attack you or whatever. But it's also great to have this like practice where I'm dealing with people and we're training and we're practicing ideas and we're practicing movements and striking, no matter what martial art it is. Just almost more important. Everyone's so hung up on what's realistic and what works and if it's MMA and this and that. But I would say, one of the most important things, in my experience, in the long term, and from this new experience of being in the MMA school here now, one of the most important things is just having people to train with the right mindset. Because then no matter what martial art you train, you're gonna succeed. Like if you've got a group of people with who aren't trying to be egotistical, they're not trying to always prove that they're the best. They're just everyone's training and looking out for each other, but they're trying their best within the remit of their martial art to focus on keeping it real. Whatever your guard is, whether it's a traditional guard or Wing Chun guard or whatever, MMA guard, keeping your solid guard, keeping your movements slick, and well timed, practicing your movement, practicing your distancing. As long as you're with people who are doing those things, it doesn't really matter what you're doing. People can diss and talk for years and years about what martial art you should do and this and that. But as long as you're doing those things, I think you're in a good place. So one of the best things I'd like to say so far about joining this MMA club is just having people. Yeah, because as you guys know from my channel, it's iron body martial arts, it's traditional conditioning and stuff. It's on trees and wood and sandbags and this and that. And as everyone, oh well, these things are inanimate. You can develop bad habits and this and that and the next thing. I'm very pleased that although I like to keep a practical focus on my training always, and I train on different mediums, and then I also have this like bit of a unique experience of like the law enforcement side and like having to use things and in a real situations. But what? I'm very pleased because in the back darkest corners of your mind, although I wasn't really worried about it, but when people are coming on the channel and saying like, look man, you don't do anything practical, you don't you're not sparring, you're not this and that, I'm really pleased that but from my previous experience and the training that I've done and keeping it going through the iron body martial arts and the conditioning, I'm very pleased that actually my practical skills haven't deteriorated you know, to any great extent, you know, where people would probably think they would, you know, because I know there's a lot of people. That's something I've noticed. You know, I never thought they did because I trained a number of, you know, the distance and timing techniques from like the 72 Secret Arts of the Shaolin, and training on different mediums, hanging mediums, solid mediums. Also trying to always keep the realism in my mind. But you know, many people quite correctly pointed out, they were like, or maybe they were just thinking for themselves, but they were like, look, man, like that's all really very well and good, but you've got to have that practical application aspect, you know. To which I would say, well, usually I'd say, well, look, guys, I don't have anyone else, you know, and the only practical application I have is my past training, and then my actual real life encounters. But then 7 years plus of jujitsu is, I guess, enough, you know, past training. But you want to be fresh. So I mean, I'm rambling here, but hopefully you guys get the gist of what I'm saying. Is that, you know, from a traditional martial arts point of view, maintaining that warrior mindset and just trying to keep that idea of encountering a real opponent, trying to keep simple concepts, you know, have preserved my actual real application martial arts. You know, like when a person's in front of me, like I've got beginners, you know, I'm here with beginners as well, and you know, one of the main things they tell me is like, you know, oh, you know, I'm really good on the pads, but then when I had to spar someone, it all went to shit. Well, I don't feel that way. You know, when I have to do the little bit of sparring, to me, I'm better at that than I am at the pad, you know, the pad combos and stuff. And that's good, you know, that's a positive sign. You know, that's something perhaps that you wouldn't expect, you know, based on what my channel is and what I do. That's something that people wouldn't expect. I was always happy that that would be the case, but that's something that perhaps people wouldn't expect. They'd be like, yeah, well, as long as it's a tree and it doesn't move, this guy can hit it all day. But that's the main thing they say is, oh, well, when it's a person, you won't be able to do all those things. But so far, my experience at the moment in the MMA club is that I'm happier with real people than I am just with the pad combos and stuff and all that. So, but anyway, I've blabbed on too much about that. But I just wanted to give you guys a heads up on that. It's been pretty good. Before I go, if anyone's got any questions or anything like that they want to ask, then fire away. I'm gonna go and have a shower, I think, because I've done. Yeah, I ate a bit too soon after my conditioning training, so my knuckles have gone a little bit blue. Usually I'd leave them for longer, have a hot shower, leave them for longer, but that's all right. Yeah, so there we go, guys. A few topics, injury being one of them. So I'll keep you updated on that. Evidently, BJJ. Although I've had no issues with my fingers because obviously I do the finger training. So grips being good, grabbing gis, grabbing stuff, grabbing people. That's all been good. Wrists, pinning wrists and stuff. But yeah, my knee. I sort of hyperextended my knee because I'm just not used to this lying down guard posture and like always crossing my legs behind people and stuff. So obviously those movements in my body need to improve, need to become stronger. So that's cool, you know, because I was fairly happy. You know, I was like, oh well, I do lots of different facets of training, and I was fairly happy that my stance and stuff like that was strong, and my legs were strong, my core was good. But then when you're forced to use your core and your legs in this weird way that I don't know, it was completely different. So yeah, interesting stuff. Anyway, guys, look, I'm going to leave you guys with that. This video is now going to sort of upload, and probably I'll lock it down to Patreon or something. I might release a better version of it, a quicker version of it, for the main channel. But I just wanted to give everyone an update on the training so far, and a bit of a chat about what my training was today. Okay, keep up the good work, keep up the training. And thank you to all the people who support the channel on Patreon. Yeah. Because it's cool. It's nice to have a bit of a community developing there. Got some closed door students on there who I'm working with on different topics, different conditionings, and I'm trying to analyze like each one of them separately. It's cool because at the moment each person needs different things. One person's a total beginner, the other one's quite experienced but training with injury, and the other one's experienced as well, but just new to the whole idea of conditioning. So it's pretty cool. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to leave you guys with that, and I'm going to go and have a shower. Been putting in some good training. It's been lovely to go, a couple of hours a week at least to the MMA club. If that's one of those things. If you guys check out Iron Body Martial Arts on Facebook, you'll see a share from the club. You'll probably see a little video of me in the background there doing some movements. And if you go on the Patreon page, there's a little clip. There's a little photo of me from the website that I took from their page. Just put on there me doing some boxing or something. And the only reason I put those on there is just to validate and show, as much as I can at the moment that I am going to these things and I am doing these things. Because it's always nice to have a bit of proof that you're doing what you're saying, rather than just everyone having to believe you. But okay, I'll catch you guys around. Have a good one. Good training, everyone. If I can turn this thing off.